Good morning, Bermuda. Good day, everyone that has showed up. Last night I received some disturbing news that we, as a country, have lost another one of our prized young men. And it gives the One Bermuda Alliance grave concern about where we are headed and the direction that we are going as a country, that we would, many believe, lose another young man to a senseless shooting. And so to the family we say and we send our condolences to you. And to everyone in Bermuda I say that it is time that we personally get involved, that we reach out to the families who have lost a loved one, and that also we reach out to those who are the perpetrators of these crimes, that we reach out to find out what is it that is going on that we are continuing to see this kind of crime. And so with that in mind, once again, on behalf of the One Bermuda Alliance, we say to the family of the lost one, our condolences are out to you, and we will continue to pray for you, and we will come to see you to pray with you. Thank you. On the backdrop of that, it gives me great joy, though, that as we continue on the One Bermuda Alliance to set the stage for a new day in Bermuda, as an election is looming and coming very soon, that we continue to roll out our candidates. And with great joy, I stand here today to introduce to you Rodney Smith for Southampton West, constituency number 32. This is a great time for Bermuda. Many of you may know Rodney for his times on the radio and in the media. He's no stranger to politics. But one thing that I do know, and having known him for years, is that we come from a very similar spiritual background and his belief in God. And that gives me great joy to know that that is a foundation of his. Everything that you hear from him, everything that you see from him will be honorable and will set the stage for a new direction for this country. And so with that in mind, it gives me great joy, Bermuda, to introduce to you Rodney Smith, the new candidate for constituency number 32. Rodney?
Yes. Thank you. Again, I would like to say that our prayers go out to the family of the young man that was killed last evening. Good morning. I would like to begin by thanking our party leader, Mr. Craig Caninier, and the Candidacy Selection Committee for choosing me to represent constituency 32.
All right.
Many people know me from my efforts to promote housing for first-time home buyers in Bermuda, while others will recognize the sound of my voice from talk radio. I have over the years addressed a number of key community issues, such as the reverse mortgage for seniors, jobs, education, drugs and crime, prison reform, and last but not least, the economy. I stand here today under the banner of the OBA because I believe that it is the only political party in Bermuda able and willing to seriously address these issues. And I believe that Bermuda needs the OBA just now. We certainly cannot go back the way we have been going. Change has to come if we are going to stop our economic fall and recapture what we have lost. I think most people sense the road that we are traveling down is not the right one for Bermuda, and that if we continue down it, there will be more bad blows for our people and the island itself, which was once considered a world leader in quality of life. We must have change. We must get off this road. I am putting myself forward as a political candidate because I cannot stand by and do nothing. I want to play a part in the rescue of Bermuda. Constituency 32 is close to my heart for two good reasons. I have a number of close family and friends that live in constituency 32. And also, I once was a property owner in constituency 32 along Tribe Road number 6. Constituency 32 will be the home of the largest building project in the history of Bermuda, once the Morgan's Point development starts up. It will employ some 500 people, and I will try to work to see to it that those within my constituency are amongst the first in line for any available jobs. It is my hope that this development will also help to curb the problem we see at White Hill at the junction of Middle Road and Woodlands Road, where a number of young men hang out. I am a strong believer that work is a great tool to cure many of our social ills. Work provides focus, meaning, and identity in people's lives. It provides an opportunity for relationships with others, and it provides means for human development. It does these things legally, and it does these things without hurting others. Finally, to all those who live in Constituency 32, I would like to say that I am happy to represent you on the behalf of the OBA. And when all is said and done, let it be known that the fortunes of Bermuda turn with our victory in Constituency 32. Thank you.
Any questions?
Just in the last week, we've seen two businesses, both of which have been around for over decades, Fresco's and All Wrapped Up Clothes. That's just an example of sort of how our economy is dwindling. What do you see that Bermuda should be doing sort of pronto to save the economy in your opinion?
Well, if you've looked in today's paper, there is an extensive article by Larry Burchell and Sir John Swan on how to turn our economy around. And they basically state that you can parallel the downturn of our economy with the release of some 4,000 work permits by the government. So there's a direct correlation that as we release foreign workers to go out of the country, our economy, in fact, suffered a severe downturn. So we need to teach Bermudians that our success is intricately tied to foreign workers being in this country.
And you also mentioned that you've spoken a lot, and one of your major concerns is prison reform. In the last maybe 6 months or so, we've seen a lot of contraband coming out of Westgate.
Yes.
It was brought, I believe, the SB News and ZBN News covered the fact that there's no real wall. People can sort of
yes,
just
that's
walk
right.
up. What are your specific concerns with prison reform?
Well, one thing, I brought along with me two booklets. The first one is called the STOP program. If you want to change people's lives, you need to help them to stop what they're doing. And this program will assist us as being the government, as an extension of the probationary services, giving tax relief to job owners that would take under their wings young men and young women that are having difficulty. It would be cheaper to have them on an extended probationary program than to lock them up. The STOP program is the answer. The second leaflet that I brought with me is this one here. One of the biggest problems with persons coming out of prison is that they have no job and they have nowhere to live. Well, how do you address Bermuda's growing homeless population? Back in 1982, I wrote this document here on how we can go about to address it. We need to get into the prisons. I believe back in 2003, I was interviewed and shortlisted for the job for the Commissioner of Prisons. And while being interviewed, they said to me, Mr. Smith, what would you do different? I said, I'll cut the budget. They said, what? I said, yes, I would cut the budget. It is now $20 million. I'll cut it by 10%. I'll take $2 million. I'll buy property with $1 million, and the other $1 million I'll buy material. I'll start building housing using prison labor, thereby allowing these young men the first options to live with their families and their children in their own homes. And they would be able to have work. Yes.
You also mentioned a little bit about White Hill. I was a former White Hill resident myself.
Yes.
And I'm very aware that men do loiter. They are a bit of, for lack of a better phrase, a nuisance.
Yes.
And what I'm asking you is, as you also know that the police have taken upon themselves to exhibit their powers to make groups disperse.
Yes.
However, if you drive past the last couple of days, you still will see guys hanging out at the Woodlawn Road which sort of suggests that they just have a real lack of respect for the law.
Yes, yeah.
What do you propose to do in that area that hasn't been done so far to change what seems to be a problem that's been going on for years?
Well, I mean, as we all know, idle hands are the devil's handiwork. These young men need something to do. That's why work is one of the greatest cures to all of our social ills. Work regulates our activity. If that young man was at work, he wouldn't be troubling someone else. So work would regulate his activity. Work also provides a person with friends. Most of my opportunities in life have come from having friends that I've met on the job. Work also provides an identity. I've trained as a tradesman, a mason, a contractor. The community gives positive, meaningful definitions to those that have positive jobs in the community. Well, there is no positive job trait that goes with the name drug pusher or any other negative type of activity. There's nothing positive that the community attributes to that. So work is a major tool in the hands of the government to help curb these young men's negative behavior. I've spoken with Mr. Hunt, who's one of the team players with the development of the Morgan's Point. And as he told me, he said, Mr. Smith, once this project gets up, we're going to have at least 500 jobs made available from this project. And I, as the MP for Constituency 32, I will fight my hardest to see to it that anyone unemployed in my constituency would be first in line for any available job.
Mr. Smith, as a former representative of the PLP, now representing the OBA, what sort of experience are you going to bring? What did you learn back then as compared to now? That was 12 years ago.
Yes.
What are you going to bring to the table?
I brought along with me, for your reading, a newspaper clipping from 1998. This was on the eve of the debate between between Pam Gordon and MP Jennifer Smith. And one of the interesting things that came out of this was a comment by MP Jennifer Smith. I'd like to read it to you. And she states, she says, I can't wait to put the government's racket before the people. Well, I'm here. I'm here to put the government's racket before the people. I would challenge the Royal Gazette to reprint this here. There's a clipping that I found April the 12th, 2002, where a concerned citizen placed at his own expense in the newspaper a challenge to the people of Bermuda, listing all the departments of government and asking the people of Bermuda to grade the government based on these many areas. That's what I plan to do. Put their racket to the test. I'm challenging Bermuda to put the PLP's racket to the test. And if they have a failing grade, I'm asking you to vote OBA.